Hey, I'm Irene. I'm going to narrate presentation of project called Body of Work. So those are outlines I'm going to talk about in this presentation. The first point is Lamentation of Christ by Giotto, Donatello David, Peter Paul Rubens' Elevation of Cross, and Rembrandt van Rijk's Anatomy Lesson of Dr. Top. The third paint is called David's Oath of the Holy Team. The fifth one is Manet's Olympia. The sixth one is Pablo Picasso. Also on the last slides, I'm going to make a comparison between two paints. So the first paint called Lamentation of Christ by Giotto. So was created by Giotto di Bondone in year of 1305. It was created in the style of Renaissance. So this painting depicted the realization of Jesus Christ. So this paint is in its foreground describe 5 figures surrounded by the dead body of Christ. So the body of Jesus does not touch the ground but gently held by 3 men. So the mood of this painting is extreme sadness because the believers, as it's clearly shown, there is women and other men who is believing Jesus, are so sad because their king has died. Also, people believe that Jesus is resurrected to rescue them. Jesus is resurrected to rescue them from the struggles, from troubles. That's the reason why he resurrected. Some people will think that when he died, they will think that he decided on his mission for preaching, but just resurrected for showing that he is a God of power and he's Son of God. So that's why, as way of showing that he resurrected for rescuing them, his believers. So also I can say that as someone of this paint is that it is showing how Jesus died and resurrected from death. Also it shows his mother was very sad because his beloved son was died. That's why the mood of this painting was extreme sad. So the second paint is Donatello's David. This paint was created by Donatello. It was created between 1501 up to 1504. So it was created in the style of Renaissance. So this painting depicted patiently waiting for battle. As clearly shown, David was ready for battering. This painting shows David hold a slingshot in his hand and the stone on other hand and standing on the head of Goliath. This shows how David was confident about winning Goliath because you cannot stand on the head of your enemy without hitting or defeating him. Also, this statue is standing at 13.5 tall. And nude, it shows David as a nude man with very masculine physical. This is the picture of how they created this paint of David. David represents, as a matter of fact, David represents Florentine Republic because it shows that Florentine struggled against the Medici. Even if Florentine was a small republic, has been able to fight against the Medici, even if it was a huge nation. So as it shows that David, even if he was a teen boy, beat a giant man Goliath. So this paint can remind us to not judge people based on their outside, or because you can think that you can judge people based on their outside even if you don't know what their efforts are. So as personal analysis, you can say that people who believe in God, they defeat their enemies. because if you believe God, you can get some extraordinary force from God. So, as to sum up, this paint was about the explaining the history of Museum Florentine Republic, how the history of this museum where we can find this David paint was created. So it is showing, the sculpture is showing David how defeated his enemy Goliath, even if he's looking weak than him. But for the believer, they believe that if you believe in God, even if your enemy can have beyond force than you, you can defeat them. The third paint is Peter Paul Rubens' Elevation of the Cross and the Rembrandt van Leech's Atomic Wisdom of Dr. Tulp. This was two paints, but I chose to talk about one paint, which called Elevation of the Cross. This paint was created by Peter Paul Rubens in year of 1638. So the style was created. This picture was neoclassicism, was the style was on top in that time. So this paint depicts era of darkness between Catholic and Protestant, because the Catholic and Protestant were against each other. They having conflict among each other. So this paint shows Mary, the mother of Jesus, John, the favorite disciples, Mary Magdalena, the penitent sinner. So this the paint that was created in the by Judge Peter Paul. So also Mary, the wife of the Crawfords, and some of other weeping women and the children. Some, even if they were trying to elevate Jesus on cross, there were some women who were weeping the blood and the sweat to the Jesus, and there were children around Jesus who was following him since the beginning. Also, in this picture, it shows that people are struggling to elevate the Christ on cross, because the Jesus and the cross was very heavy to them to lift it, but the believers take the heaviness of that cross and Jesus as the weight of their sins, of the people who commit sins every day. That's why it was very hard for them to lift it up. Also, Jesus on cross cried out that, Father, forgive them because they don't know what they are doing. Because Jesus was praying to his Father that to forgive people who make him suffer by beating him, because he was thinking that they don't know what they are doing. They don't know that they are against the will of God. The next paint is David's Oath of the Holy Team. It was created by Jean-Jacques Louis David in 1784. It was created in Rococo style. It was on the top in the France this time in this year. So it's shown the three brothers who reached out toward their fathers. Those brothers were standing in the place of their fathers because their fathers were old. So three young brothers soldiers were battle against Colati brothers from Alba. Those brothers were from Colati, but they were fighting against the Alba brothers. On the left side, there are women and children. Indeed, all women are conflicted. Colatists engaged to another of the Colati. Those women were conflicted because they think that because they were engaged from one city to another, some they think that they are going to lose their husband because they are going to be there in this war between two nations, and they're saying that they are going to lose their brothers and they are going to lose their fathers. So that's why they were conflicted. Those brothers have protected for them from their nation and liberate their nation from bad things. So as shown, those brothers were willing to die even for their nation for sake of good health in the nation. Also, it describes what happened in the French Revolution. Those brothers were fighting for French Revolution because there was discrimination in the France, and those brothers were wanting to stop this discrimination in the abusement of president and the kings. So also this painting depict the patriotism of young brothers. They show how the in ancient time people, young brothers and youth, were having the patriot for their country and their nation, to rescue it and to make others nation have a good life. So the fifth paint is Manet in Olympia. This paint was created by Edward Manet in year of 1863. It shows a nude woman called Olympia confidently reclining on a bed. Olympia wearing nothing but a black ribbon around her neck, a gold bracelet on her wrist, Louis XV slippers on her feet, and a sleek flower in her hair, all symbolize of wealth and sensuality. At the feet of the bed there is a black cat, while a negro servant is shown bring her a bouquet of flower. When this flower was coming from her client. So it was created in style of genre style. The style of painting is showing the real thing happened in their life. So the subject is clear, show that the life of classic prostitute. Mainly this picture is showing the life of high classes prostitutes in France, how they live. It's like way of summarizing the classic prostitute in France. Also, as personal, can less that this paint is promoting the prostitute to ensure how classic prostitute look. So as some people, the artist was trying to say that he designed this paint as well, showing the quality and beauty of a woman. But for me, I think he was promoting the prostitute and how they and wants to show how the classic prostitute look in French. So the last paint is Pablo Picasso. It was created by Pablo Picasso in July 1907. It was created in style Cubism, which was the style that showed the evolution in painting, because it was painted in 3 dimensions. This paint depicts 5 naked women with figures composed of flat, present prints and face, inspired by Iberian sculpture and African masks. The subject this paint in the style led to the traditional culture because it shows how white men colonized Africa. Also, it showed the bad effects of prostitute, such as transmission of sexual diseases such as diarrhea, AIDS. Also, this paint shows the bad effects of process and how white people colonize Africa, because in this paint there's some black people and white people. So as a matter of fact, the representation of the body direct show the message that artists want to show about the prostitute. So I can say this video is showing how the culture of women and beauty. Many people represent prostitutes in popular classical Olympia. Also, it shows the life of prostitutes and how the prostitute has bad effect to some people's life. The last content is comparison between 2 paints. One is Manet Olympia and Picasso Les Demois d'Avignon. Similarity of they all present the picture of nude human Also, all are promoting the prostitute because they are showing picture of nude women who are acting as prostitutes. Also, it's represent white people and black people. Also, the difference is that Olympia style was created in style of genre, but the Picasso was created in style of Cubism. Also, artists of Olympia was trying to show the life of classic prostitute, even though the artist Picasso was trying to show the impact of prostitute in the way white people colonized Africa.